Okay, first thing I want to do, everybody, wave your hand in the air like y'all know the rest. They already know. They already know. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, yes, yes. I finally got my shot for the day. How about that? And I am definitely excited about being here. Thank you, Dr. LaDonna, for hosting this event. I'm just grateful for everybody that's on the platform. And I'm going to share with you my story. My title is going to be, I got a couple titles. But my title, I'm going to share with you all about my military journey. A lot of y'all don't know I've been in the military. But I'm going to share a little bit about my military journey and how it all comes together. Is that all right? Is that all right? Okay. So, I want you to wave your hand if any of you have ever served in the military. Come on. If you have family members who served in the military, or if you know someone who served in the military, come on, wave them. I'm going to share a little bit about my military journey and how it took me from service to significance. As a proud U.S. Army veteran and a retired corrections lieutenant after 29 years in law enforcement, I come before you today not only as someone who has served my country, but I come before you as someone who continues to serve. I serve through leadership, I serve in the community, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, I serve with purpose. I'm going to share how my military experience set me up for the come up, and it prepared me for my leadership role in this entrepreneur journey and in my career. Ladies and gentlemen, I served 12 years in the U.S. Army, which taught me discipline. It gave me structure, and it taught me about resilience. The military built my confidence to lead under pressure. And of course, to organize with precision. And these same skills have shaped my journey as a business owner. The military showed me that leadership, it's not just about titles, but it's about teamwork, service, and it's about accountability. Every event that I host, every entrepreneur that I serve is guided by these same principles that I learned while wearing that uniform. Serving both the country and in the corporate arena has taught me that my service never, ever truly ends. It continues to evolve over and over and over again. Our gifts never run out. They just keep evolving as long as we are willing. I served our country in uniform, but I continue to serve globally as an entrepreneur, as a mentor, as a leader, and definitely, ladies and gentlemen, I serve as an example of integrity. Through my company, Unity and Service, I have created platforms for entrepreneurs to rise because my service didn't stop. It didn't stop, y'all, when I took off those boots. It shifted from the battlefield to the boardroom, from the missions to meaningful impact. And that's huge for me. My training taught me focus, perseverance, and the power of unity. These traits are what makes me unstoppable, not only on my entrepreneur journey, but in my life as a whole. Imagine this. If every entrepreneur and business leader applied these same values, honor, discipline, and integrity to uplift one another, we would cultivate future leaders, and build businesses that's driven by purpose. We would cultivate businesses that causes a huge impact and definitely a lasting legacy. In the military, ladies and gentlemen, no one succeeds alone. We rely on one another. And that same principle applies in this entrepreneur arena and in life as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, connections, they matter. And when entrepreneurs unite, we can break down some barriers. My motto in my business is, people need people. Because our collective strength, forged in service, keeps this entrepreneurial arena thriving. Now I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you what the military did not tell me. They did not tell me that the training that I was going to receive in the military was going to assist me when I faced challenges in that corporate arena. So, ladies and gentlemen, during my 29-year career in law enforcement, I achieved lots of accolades. But I also faced challenges that left me feeling afraid. I felt inadequate. And sometimes I felt so unappreciated. Y'all know what I'm talking about? After about 8 years into my career, I decided to take the corporate exam, which was the first level of supervision. I took the exam and I passed it. But when my name came up on the promotional list, I was arbitrarily passed over. But when I was studying for that exam, I learned that employees had rights. And I also learned that there were rules in place that employees must follow if they wanted to file complaints. But what I did was not one of the rules. A door of opportunity opened. And it afforded me the opportunity to go before the 12 county commissioners, board of county commissioners, and I went on national television to plead my case. I persevered through that challenge, and Dade County had to promote me. About 4 years later after that, I said, let me go ahead and take this sergeant's exam, get another promotion. And I want you to know that as I prepare for the test, I took the test, but how many of y'all know that when you stand up for your rights, you become a target? Anybody know about anything? Anybody know about that? So in my case, I became a bigger target because somebody was already after me. But I took the test, I passed it, and I came out, ladies and gentlemen, in the top 10 percentile. But when my name came up on the promotion list, wave your hand if you know what happened. Again, I was arbitrarily passed over. But I persevered through that challenge, and of course, they had to promote me. See, my goal was to retire as a corrections lieutenant. And I had one more test to take. But when it was time for me to study for the exam, it was always the fear of being passed over. So I didn't study. I almost threw in the towel. But as fate would have it be, what's for you, ladies and gentlemen, is for you. And even in your weakest moment, the times that you're struggling, trying to get through those unlimited beliefs and those feelings of, not being sure of yourself, even in that, God got your back. He sent 2 sergeants to my desk 2 weeks before the exam. And those sergeants came to my desk and they said, Rogers, are you going to take the lieutenant's exam? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell y'all something about those 2 ladies. Those 2 ladies, those 3 of us, we weren't close. But one thing about people, when they want to know about your business, they'll come talk to you. But they don't know they was a ram in the bush. Because they said to me, I said, I didn't take that test. I said, I'm not taking that test because I didn't study. And I'm sick of Dade County passing over me. Those 2 ladies said to me, they said, well, Rogers, we didn't study either. So let's just all go take the test and see what happens. I said, okay. So like I said about the military taught me how to face a challenge head on. And I looked at that as a challenge. I said, if y'all go, I'll go. So we all went down and took the test. And about 3 weeks later, I wasn't even thinking about the test because normally if you flunk the test, they just don't put your name on the list, which is good. And so I wasn't thinking about the test because I knew I hadn't prepared. And I went down to headquarters, the main building one day, about 3 weeks after the test, we took the test. I was looking for something and I went down to headquarters. I walked into the administration office and one of my administrators ran up to me and she said, Sergeant Rogers, congratulations. I said, congratulations for what? And she said to me, she pointed at the bulletin board and she said, you're number 5 on the lieutenant's list out of 78 people. How does that happen? So, of course, I was grateful for that. But my point is this. My goal was to retire as a corrections lieutenant. And Napoleon Hill says it best that your desire must be so strong that nothing can stop you from achieving your goal. And, of course, when my name came up on the promotional list, again, I don't have to say it. But what I want to ask you all is this today. Did they think that by passing me over for those promotions was going to stop me and hold me down? For years, I supervised male inmates with 200-pound biceps who pumped iron deal. I supervised women and men inmates who had serious charges such as burglary, kidnapping, child molestation, and even murder. And they thought that they was going to hold me down by passing me over for those promotions. This is what I want you all to remember when people are trying to hold you down. And what about when you're holding yourself down? I want you to remember that with every success comes challenges and hard work. But when we face each difficulty and overcome them, it should move us into a space that inspires us to achieve even more success. Quitting, ladies and gentlemen, is never, ever an option. And Napoleon Hill says it best in his book, Think and Grow Rich. He says that your desire must be so strong that nothing will stand in the way of you achieving your goal. Nothing will stand in the way of you achieving your goal. And procrastination, ladies and gentlemen, is the enemy to your success. And preparation is the key to success. Because God sees all, he knows all, he's watching us when we're doing nothing, while we're telling the next person who's trying to achieve their goals and you're a part of that team, they'll tell you, you'll tell them, oh, I'm busy. Well, God see you watching TV. He see you watching. He see you watching when you're eating. He see all these things you're doing. So who are we fooling? Discipline teaches me to be true to my own self. Be true. Put others before me, honor others, and this is what is a requirement. It's a discipline that we as leaders need to take on. If LaDonna sends me a message and I'm using her because I'm in her event, when she puts something in that chat and tell us, hey, do this, the link is here, whatever, I go to it and I do it expediently because guess what? Now I can get back to what I got to do. And at the same time, I'm not holding her up. But sometimes we're so caught up in our own disciplines of our own selves that we forget about our brothers and our sisters. We forget I made a commitment. And y'all want to know why I'm like I am? That's why I'm like I am. Because the military taught me disciplines. Disciplines that will carry me, and not only carry me, but that will attract people to me that I will need to help me on my life's journey. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say my labor was not in vain. Because Dade County Department, through the Florida retirement system, pays me a 6-figure salary, plus a 3% increase for the rest of my life. Y'all can call it bragging, you can call it what you want, but I took some beat downs in that organization. Y'all don't even know the half. But I didn't know that I had a light shining on me, and when I walk in the room, everybody saw it. I didn't know about that light. And I'm talking about the anointing of God over my life. And see, when people know you got that power in you to come up, they're going to start doing what they can, throwing dots, throwing rocks to keep you down so you can't outshine them. But no, who's competing? They're competing in their own minds. But at the end of the day, everything that I've gone through brought me to this point, this day, this time. And I thank God for the challenges that I had to face along my journey. And I can't see the clock. Okay, I see it. Yeah, so my point is this. Anything we design life is ours, but we do have to work for it. We do have to prepare. And we do have to get beyond the first message that came forward. I think it was faith. You got to get over those fears and those emotions. I talked to a lady yesterday on a call. She has a coach, and then she wanted to come talk to me about some things. And the same thing she said her coach is telling her, I was telling her, you got to get over those feelings. Because that's just what they are. They're nothing but feelings, and emotions come and they go. How many times have we been in relationships and they didn't work? But we bounce back. We bounce back, and then you're in another one. Then before you know it, you get married with somebody else. So it's just a feeling. And I tell myself that when I get uneasy, when I know God has opened my creative mindset and told me to do something, giving me an idea, I know, first of all, if I don't carry it out, He gonna give it to somebody else. And then I know that, well, you created me. You know what I'm about. You know what I'm able to sustain and go through. You're giving me this idea, and how dare you not let me succeed? Because if I don't succeed, you don't succeed. So guess what I tell God? I'm in. I tell Him I'm on it. I'm on it. Because He's not going to let you make a fool of yourself, because you will make a fool of the idea that He gave you. How about that? So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead, and I want to let you all know. Everybody already knows. I'm looking at the platform. Everybody knows who I am, basically. But I will close with this. Not close, but I will say this because it's a part of my script for those who may not know that I am a 2-time winning public speaker. I am a 3-time international best-selling author. I am an event host and organizer for over a decade, in-person and virtual events. And I am a social media guru. And I am a child of God. And I am a mentor for women like, I don't see her now, but women like other little girls, Iffy, the little girls that come from other countries, young men, young women. They always find me on LinkedIn. I want to work with you. And sometimes I don't want to be bothered, but God said, this is your calling. And you know what? I go in. I take them under my wing. And when they learn enough, they fly away. They fly away and I get hot. Yeah. Because I done taught them all this and that, even to leave me. But you know what? They got to spread their wings. So I give them my blessings. Now's the time you go in peace and go serve other people. So I'm just grateful for all that I've been doing in my lifetime. It has not been a mistake. All those bad relationships, all of the incidents at the work, the things I did to myself, getting in trouble, drinking alcohol with friends at work, all that foolishness. God has forgiven me for it all. And I thank Him today because I made some rotten decisions back in the day. But when I look at me today in the mirror, LaDonna, when I look at me, y'all don't want me to get happy on this platform. All I can do is tell God, thank you. Thank you for choosing to live in me. Thank you for loving me. And thank you most of all for allowing me to be in a role of leadership that people want to be around me. God is good, y'all. But anyway, I'm going to take y'all. Can I share my screen for a moment?
Yes. Go ahead.
Please. Yeah, let me go ahead and share my screen and close this presentation out because y'all got me on cloud 9. And I ain't supposed to be this high, according to me. Okay.